Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have the Sephora haul. I got my box of goodies from the Sephora sale and I thought I would try on as much as is reasonable because a few of the things aren't things we can try on together. I haven't really gone into too much of this stuff yet. I tried like maybe two of the things, so it'll be a first impressions for many of these items. Pretty excited. I only have a refill of one item and they have reformulated, so it'll be still kind of a first impression. But without too much further ado, let's see what we got. First up, we have one of the more boring staple items, if you will. It is a brush shampoo. So we have the Sephora Brush Cleaner X Sigma. It's like just a little pump, so it's the liquid actual brush cleaner. It isn't just like the spray-on magical liquid where you can immediately use the brush. This is more of the deep clean for the brushes where you really want to get in there and just clean all the fibers out. More of a long-term commitment because you wash the brush, you gotta let it sit overnight, you can't use it till the next day, but still, you gotta give them a really good shampoo every once in a while. So we picked up some of that. It was in the sales section and then there was an extra 20% off. I don't know if Sephora is discontinuing any products from Sigma. I haven't really seen many on their site, and any that were in the sales section, so it's a bit of a sadness, but Sigma has their own website and they do have lots of sales themselves, so I'll just have to go directly to the source. Next up, we have kind of a more fun beauty tool type product. Since the Sephora collection was 30% off, this is a giant box containing the facial cooling wands. I did sneak a peek. They're super cute. I don't know if you can tell. They're liquid filled. So they're these glass wands and they actually have like liquid inside of them. So it's super cool. You put it in the freezer and then they freeze and get, super cold. I have an ice roller, but this is, similar sort of concept. I wanted to see if this felt any different. It's a little smaller is what I like about it. So the surface area is pretty generous, but it isn't like as big as an ice roller. So you can really kind of get in there and just place it against the skin nicely and get like that cooling sensation. So you could refrigerate these if you don't want it like completely frozen inside. But yeah, I'm super excited to try these out. Just thought it'd be, something a little fun at 30% off. Next up is something that has been in my shopping cart more than once. I've thought about it, hemmed and hawed. I finally pulled the trigger and picked up the Olehenriksen Banana Bright Under Eye Cream. So when this first came out, there was a lot of buzz about it, and I was pretty excited. I'm like, ooh, I want to try this. I want a nice soothing under eye cream to do a little brightening. You have some darkness here, It's allergy season, so it's really going to be a test to see if this helps me out. But I've noticed over, I think, the last 2 years or however long it's been since this launched, people are still talking about this. People are still saying how much they love it, how it's still a part of their daily routine. So I thought, all right, fine. I'll have to give this a try. I will let you know how it goes. With something like this, you have to try it for a while. I will be putting on just a little bit of it today, since we'll be doing some makeup. So we'll dab a little of this on. So there's no fragrance, it doesn't really smell like anything, which is always nice in skincare. For feeling like such a thick cream, I was a little concerned. Like when I first touched it, I was like, ooh, this is a little thick. But it did sink nicely into the skin. Like I don't really feel like there's much residue. It's just nicely hydrated. It does feel like there's a little bit there. I might have used a little too much. I might dab off. Like when I get to the concealer part, I might try to dab off any excess that hasn't sunken into the skin quite yet. But yeah, I'll have to let you guys know how it goes long term. Now we have a reformulation of one of my favorite items. We have the Smashbox Primer Mist. So I did always like this. It was nice to just give a little bit of hydration to the skin before going in with foundation, especially with someone like me, dry skin. But it didn't cause too much hydration, right? Like it didn't feel like there's too much residue, or it didn't really, it doesn't interfere with foundation. So I found it to be just the perfect thing to put on before makeup. They have added some more skincare ingredients, so it's only gotten better in theory. I'll have to give it a try today and we'll see if I still absolutely love this. I always like to mist a little onto my brushes as well before applying foundation, just to help sheer it out a little bit and to prevent the brush from absorbing and like soaking up too much foundation, because I feel like that's kind of wasting the product. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's see if the mister is still just as nice. That is such a fine mist. I couldn't hardly even feel it touching my skin. I was like, am I getting myself? Yeah, it still doesn't smell like anything, so that's nice. Well, we got the cheeks pretty good, which is where I need more hydration. Maybe just one more because it feels so nice. Excellent. Now let's see how the foundation goes on top of it. So now we're going to go in with a tinted serum foundation. My latest obsession are these serum foundations. This one from Rose Inc. is very affordable. It does come with a brush, at least the kit I bought. So I got the Illuminating and Plumping Complexion Duo. So it comes in like a bigger box. You get a brush. So this is an interesting angled brush. Let me get it out of its... All right, it's been liberated, so we can see the little bristles on an angle, just like blush brushes typically are. I mean, not always, but my favorite ones are. The density doesn't feel like... A lot of foundation brushes are very dense. This is kind of in the middle. It doesn't feel too light, but it's not, super dense, which is great because it's a serum tint, so it's gonna be pretty thin. I wouldn't want it to be super dense or it would just like suck up all the product. So for the Skin Enhance, I picked up shade 020. So inside the bottle, there are these little micro encapsulated pigments, and then they're floating inside of the serum. When you go to pump it out and then you take the brush, it bursts the spheres. So it's kind of it's just a fun visual. We'll put a little on the hand so you can see. Trying to keep it from running too much. So it's very lightweight, you can see as it's running, but there's like the little streaks from the pigment capsules as they burst in the serum. It's super cute. Let's see, let's carefully mist my brush so I can get going. Just a second. All right, I'll just, take it off the back of the hand. And then as I do that, you can see it burst all the capsules and mixed everything up. So now we just have what looks like a nice lightweight foundation. Looks like it should be a pretty good match as well, so I'm pleased. It's always hard to buy colors online. That just looks so hydrating and luminous. It's really pretty. Again, not a lot of coverage, but that's not what we're looking for. We're just looking to even things out a little bit. So yeah, this would be perfect for if you're doing a low makeup day, or I don't know, maybe you're trying to do French girl inspired makeup look like I did in my last video. I kind of wish I had this for that. I'll link that below if you're interested in another like low makeup, kind of low maintenance sort of vibe. I really like the way that turned out as well, and I think this would definitely fit with that same French woman vibe, the chic Parisienne. All right, now it's time for a little bit of concealer. And while I did not pick up a concealer in this sale, I picked up a concealer brush. So I got the Nars concealer brush. It's meant to be used with their Radiant concealer. So it's a little angled, it looks very fluffy. It's pretty soft, so we'll see. I know I've used some more of the like dense, flatter concealer brushes, which are great if you're trying to like clean up some errant eyeshadow, or if you're trying to do like a cut crease or something. But I really wanted to try a concealer brush that was a little more fluffy, a little more friendly for actually applying a lighter weight foundation or a lighter weight concealer under the eyes. I do already own the Nars Radiant Concealer. I bought like a little mini version of this a while ago, and I do like it. So I'm excited to see how this performs with the brush designed for it. That ended up working really nicely. Even with one of those like tiny beauty blenders, I have a hard time getting like, right in there by the eye. But this, I feel like it worked so well blending in there. I didn't feel like I had to work at it too much. I didn't get too much over the on the eyelid with the primer, which, I mean, if you're gonna go over your eyelids with primer, that's fine. But if that's not what you're doing for the day, it can get a little annoying trying to clean that up. But that actually worked really nicely. I'm super happy. Next up is blush from Rose Inc as well. They had another kit. I know it's not a lot to look at in terms of the package, but it's nice and sleek. It's a lovely shade. But Sephora had a blush set where you could get one of the shades of blush. So you could get one of the colors of blush, and then you would also receive a blush brush. I love this brush. It's so cool. Like the way it tapers up. It just looks really chic and stylish. And the brush itself, the bristles they're more dense down around here, but then I feel like it gets a lot lighter in terms of density up here, so it's going to diffuse the product a lot more. Sorry, I'm like flying this thing all over the screen, you can hardly tell, but I'm really curious to see how this goes because the density isn't, uniform across the whole thing. Anyway, it looks lovely. Hopefully it performs just as well. I do like how it's a little smaller than a few of my other blush brushes, which are wider. So I think we'll have a better precision application, and with it being so kind of feathery, I guess, at the top, we should be able to diffuse it nicely. The shade looks a little dark, so I'm hoping it's not like too overly pigmented. This will do a quick swatch. Oh! I thought it was a powder because you look at it and it looked like the finish of it was a powder. I completely forgot it was a cream. Sorry, it took a little while to get my order, so I couldn't remember that it was a cream blush, not a powder. Alright. Oh no, that'll be nice. I think when I blend that in. Okay. Alright, I'm less concerned now. That's really, okay, that's just really pretty. That explains a little more about the brush, because if it was just super dense and it was a cream, that could get weird. So let's go in. I think that'll be really nice for summer. That shade's gonna work all right. It's crazy because I'm not used to using cream blushes, so it feels so, I mean, it's a cream, so it feels really wet on the skin. So it's a little crazy. But it's nice. I feel like that way it doesn't accentuate fine lines as much. And cream blushes are all the rage right now, so here we are trying it out. Might have been a little heavy-handed, but blushes do tend to kind of melt in and fade a little, so we'll see. Well, I'll see how this looks in a little while. And then as time goes on, I'll let you guys know as we try these products out more often, how they work long term. So I did pick up an eyeshadow palette. I've been thinking about this for a while, for probably the last 3 months or so. I saw a video where Ellie Andrea used this in a red carpet look. It is the Too Faced, the New Nudes, or the Natural Nudes. So I know this has been out a while. I'm a little late to the party. However, when I watched her red carpet video, she's a wonderful makeup artist based in Paris, so incredibly talented. And when she held this up and said, this is not just another neutral palette, that this was very special, that the tones of it were unique, I'm like, okay, I need to try to understand what she meant by that, why it's different. So I had to pick one up. I feel like the center of it is very like Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk vibes. And I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I just want to use a couple shades right now. I do want to spend some more time like diving into why this palette would be so special and trying to understand in a sea of neutral palettes, what does make one neutral palette different from another? So I thought that would be a fun video. If you're interested, please hit the subscribe button, give this a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a video like that, because either I'm just gonna spend some time investigating myself, or I will drag you guys with me and share some of the findings. All right, I'm gonna start out by laying a base with the color Swan up here in the corner. Now I'll cover the eyelid with Cocoa right here. I think for just a little shimmer, I will go in with Sparkling Sand down here. Again, it's kind of a light daytime look, so we don't want to go too crazy. We have to have a little fun. I'll be using just my fingertip for this one. I feel like that's the best way to get good impact out of a light glitter shade. I guess shimmer. This isn't really glitter. And then I'll blend out the edges with the brush. Alright, just trying to keep it simple. I do want to do more of a deep dive into this in the future at some point, so stay tuned for that. Alright, and now next we have kind of a little parade of lip oils. I'm not going to try all of them on right now because I do plan on doing like a deep dive into lip oils. I feel like they become all the rage and everyone is like obsessed with lip oils. I've liked the Dior lip oil for a while now, so let's try out a few new ones. But yes, in the future, we will be using the Rare Beauty Soft Touch Lip Oil. I picked up the shade Joy, so I only have one of these. They sold out within like half a second, I swear. Oh, just about all the colors. So I only managed to get one. But that's all right. I think one is a good way to get introduced to a formula. Speaking of, this is a late introduction for me. The Clarins lip oil was an Allure Beauty, one of their Best of Beauty award winners, I think in 2001. So my bad, but we're going to join the party with the shade Strawberry, which is like, it looks like a really vibrant pink. I can't wait to try this for summer. I picked up the Jisoo oil. So this one, I imagine it will smell and maybe even taste somewhat of honey, because that's their whole thing, is honey infused hair care. I was surprised to see a lip oil from them. A lot of great reviews, so I can't wait to try that one out. I've also heard amazing things about this lip oil. There were 2 of them in the package, so I thought this was a pretty good deal. The Get Glazed Lip Duo. We have Candy Apple and Mystery Glaze. So this is from In Beauty Project. I haven't tried any of their stuff before, so I'm really curious to see how this goes. But this was a pretty good deal, sold out really fast as well, so hopefully you guys got to pick one up. And then we are going to try one item today. I picked up one of the Merit Lip Oil Gilet, or gels. They all had a pretty similar vibe. I did watch a Sephora haul where someone had purchased various shades. She said that might have been unnecessary, really. They all kind of end up looking the same on the lips. I have tried this one. I really like it. It's just kind of a nice little wash of color. Like, it isn't a lot, but it does feel very hydrating and really nice on the lips. So if you couldn't decide which one to get, and I don't think it matters a whole heck of a lot just because it is such a light coverage, but it feels so good on the lips. This is the kind of thing you'll be reapplying a lot though, so if you want something to stick and stay there forever, you know, maybe you want like the Summer Fridays lip balm, that's really good at staying in place if you put some of that on. But this is a little more of a shine, a little more fun. Doesn't really smell like anything. So I know this is maraschino. It does not quite smell like the maraschino cherry. Well, that's okay. And then last but not least, for touch-ups on the go, I picked up the Rare Beauty. They had a little touch-up kit. I think it's Blot and Glow. So it's pretty cute inside. Let me see if I can. Okay, so there's like a little powder. So there's a puff, so you can use the little powder puff. I haven't opened up the powder quite yet, but you can do a little touch up with some powder. They have blotting sheets, the little blotting sheets that sit in there. Really small, nice, like rice papery. So these feel like they'd be really good. I don't typically use blotting papers except this time of year for like the summer months when you just, I don't know, I feel like I'm a little more glowy than I necessarily want to be at times. So I thought this would be a fun little kit to kind of toss in the bag and keep with me throughout the day. It's bigger than I expected though, so I mean, this thing's kind of like half my head, so we'll see. It's gonna take up a lot of real estate in the purse, so I don't know, we'll see how often I use it. I would love to hear what you guys picked up in the Sephora sale. Did you have any new items that you found that you absolutely fell in love with? Do you have any regrets? Or did you just stock up on your staples? I would love to hear, and I will see you guys in the next one.